it's already going. Forget about
Let's
the
do
camera.
it. All right. Just gonna check real quick, make sure
Yeah,
this thing's
check.
working. What's going
Should we
on,
put that
everyone?
over or not?
I
Yeah, who cares?
don't think you can see it, as long as you can see it. Um, so what's today? Thursday?
Thursday, December 18th.
I just finished eating some tacos. I did eat shit.
Yeah.
We're running.
I told him to wear his road shoes, but he didn't listen to me.
Let me
I
see.
told him to wear his road
Oh,
shoes,
look.
but he didn't listen to me. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, we're good. All right, so what's going on? It's kind of weird. So we decided to sit down together and supposed to interview me, but we're just gonna talk. And I think
Do a little
I'll
little
let Tim
podcast.
introduce us, I guess.
All right, what's up, guys? I'm Tim Vail. I'm the host of Avando Running Podcast, and I'm just out here with my buddy Victor. Um, Came up to his crib, went to go scope out the Machete Madness. You know, went up to what is it, Terry Peak. Was scoping out the course a little bit, and yeah, I'm just stoked. I'm getting to run this race. It should be super fun. You know, it's loops. I feel like I'm pretty good at the loops. It's just a mental game, and there's a lot of climbing in this course. So, and that's something I really enjoy. Yeah, and just being out here, we're out at the crib. Victor hooked it up with some tacos. Got to meet his parents.
Yep.
Just talking about how I got into running. Um, Found out his dad it was still like a runner beast in his late 60s, and we were just kind of watching some videos of him running, and I'm like, man, like that's crazy. He's still able to run like that in his late 60s, and my dad's over here 55 saying like he's too old to run. So I can't wait to go home and tell him like, hey man, I just met one of my buddy's dads, and he's you know 72 and he's still out there getting after it. So yeah, man, thanks for having me out here and you know treating me like family and showing me the course, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, that's what at least with our events with Machete Madness and it's been a while since we even talked about like so people just hear like Machete Madness on what it is, and I figure it'd be a good time just to go back a little bit into like how we even started because it does tie down to even what he just said about like treating them like family. Because at the end of the day, I feel like if anyone has run a race, that's what you walk away from it, and there's no agenda of like I mean, there's no like plan or anything like I'm gonna do this so then this person can think. It's nothing like that. It's literally just being yourself. And but I think hopefully one thing I do want people to walk out of this is like I'm not gonna go back, to the very beginning. What got me to the place? And we're looking at 11 years ago. What was that like 2013? So around that time, 2013. At that time, I'm in my early 30s, and the reason that you may find yourself in any kind of anything depression, it could be for many reasons. Uh, my situation, it came from a divorce, like separation. You met my youngest son right now. When you have family and you have a marriage or a union, whatever, when that breaks, it really can fuck people up, and that a lot of people can relate to that. But anyone that has ever experienced depression, it doesn't matter why you got there, will probably relate to what I'm about to say. So going back to 2013, when I found myself at my lowest, like, you know, and when I think about like depression, it's like I don't know, how do you differentiate sadness and depression, or how do you get diagnosed? But for me, what it was is when you don't want to live no more, though. That's pretty fucked up. And I shared with a few people that over the years, I mean, you have a fucking machete hanging right here, like you know, um, it's I always own guns. So this is fun. You don't need a gun to hurt yourself. You don't. You could use anything, I guess, hang yourself, whatever. And when I say that, I don't say in a joking matter.
Yeah.
It does happen to people. People do pull through it. So long story short, at my lowest, that's where I found myself. Honestly, I felt like a nightmare. I was waking up, um, not accepting where I was in life. And that's what I wanted to do, man. I wanted to end the pain. I just wanted to let go. And at my lowest point, yeah, I had a gun to my head, and it's so fucking crazy to think that I ever did that. Because before that, before I went through that stuff, I didn't have like a crazy childhood. The other day I interviewed this gentleman that he's been through crazy stuff, getting shot. He said his mom's was a prostitute, like all kinds of crazy shit that I didn't live through. My this guy kept on, and he's doing my 100K. But it doesn't matter if you had the worst childhood or you had a normal childhood. But if you ever find yourself in life where that's where you're at, you're fucking depressed, you don't find joy. I was for sure in the worst shape of my life ever. I was 240 pounds. I'm not a little dude now. I'm still like 190,
Yeah.
5'11", but it was bad. But where it changed everything is like people can think of social media as being negative in some ways, but it can be very positive. At that time, I started putting stuff on Instagram when I started like, well, let me take it real back. So I want to shoot my fucking self. That's where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
I still have when you walk outside, you see a picture of Richie, when he was little. I looked at the picture and I don't know, that really like scared me at the moment. I was like, what the fuck am I doing, right? Like it's just obviously you're not in that right sense of mind. Like I can't even explain what it is. Though it's just you're just not yourself. You're just like fucked. And when I didn't make the decision, it actually had to do with like the people that I met around the time. It was a group of people doing boot camps through Herbalife in Redondo Beach. And so instead of doing that, luckily I didn't obviously hurt myself. And from there on, it just went like the journey. That's when it started. So I went on to start doing like if you could still find some of my old stuff on YouTube. You'll see me dragging tires up cliffs, like wearing the fucking training rats, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff and doing my first barn race.
So
From
was all this that you're talking about? This was after you tried to kill yourself or
it basically
prior?
the moment that I pulled the gun away, it started from there. Because I
So
was already being asked to come join these boot camps. But I was like, nah, I'm good, I'm good. Like, but I was depressed as fuck. I was partying, doing other things.
so you weren't like super into fitness before all that. It was just
No,
kind of it was after
yeah, no. So it was basically growing up. How old are you?
25.
25. So it's so fucking weird talking to someone now. It's like in many areas of my life, in my career, I was always like the youngest for everything. And now like I'm sitting here with someone like you, and we're gonna get into his running stuff, but it's like it's so weird like how he just life goes pretty fucking fast. But yeah, no, to answer the question, yeah, I played soccer like most Mexicans growing
Yeah.
up. We play soccer, dude. And up until 19 I had orthoscopic surgery on my knee. I played high school soccer, but I was never like running wise, nah. By 19 I was done. So fast forward the next 13 years, your typical sitting in an office, eating not that well, getting bigger and bigger, no fitness. And that contributes because when you're feeling depressed and you look like the worst you ever looked and you feel the
You
worst you
look
ever
like
looked,
shit. You feel like shit.
yeah, it's
Like
just everything is just like a full thing. And so around the time where I was like really depressed, I was hanging out with a lot of people that were more into like clubbing, drinking, because you're trying to escape your reality, bro. You're trying to find anything that can take you away from that.
distract you.
But
Yeah.
the problem with that and even with drinking is like, and I still have a beer here and there, but like not like I was at the moment. But all of the stuff is just temporary. It's just like a bandit.
Yeah. Exactly.
The moment I will get home after like a night at a club, hanging out, and now mind you, um, I was living with my kid's mom from age 19. At that point, it was 32. So, like 13, 14 years. I never had really like a single life. So, part of it, in the moment, it was sort of like fun, I guess, because you're like out there in the single life. But, dude, like that's not what I wanted. I just wanted to be the family man that I was. But you kind of forced into that kind of lifestyle in a way.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, when like I would get drunk, go out, but when I would come back home and sometimes I don't even know how I came back home because sometimes I out of character do like driving while doing things. It's just things that you would never do. You end up doing it when you're in that state of mind. But like the minute you lay down in bed, man, all of that reality will set in again, and you find yourself where you at. So yeah, around the same time, that's when these people kept asking me to go join them for a workout. And I was just like, I don't even know why I thought I was in shape. I thought I was gonna go and kill it. And then around that time, when obviously, I didn't I didn't pull the trigger. I started going to those boot camps. And when the first time I went though, I was trying to keep up with the fastest people though. I kind of did, but as soon as it was like a 30-minute AMRAP, like with like stairs and push-ups and stuff. Dude, I went straight to the bathroom and puked, dude. I fucking threw up. My ears were buzzing. Like, I was just, holy crap, like, I'm really bad
It's
shape.
a whole new experience.
But I think what happened at that moment is like I did find like a new family in a way because you have your family, and just for anyone out there, it's like sometimes you can have family but still find yourself alone. And the
Yeah.
reason being is because sometimes you love your parents, you love your family, you don't want to see them hurting because obviously they hurt because they seen you in that kind of state where you're at, and you kind of try to avoid that. So sometimes in places like now, it could be CrossFit, it could be anything, running, but sometimes in fitness communities you find, and I feel like that's what our events have provided. And that's kind of like, I'm just gonna share real quick how basically the event started. So I go through all of that. I become obsessed with fitness though. I The first challenge that I gave myself is like, I'm gonna go hiking for 60 days. I don't know why the hell 60 days.
Like 60
Consecutive, no
every
matter
day.
what, no
Yeah.
particular distance. Just get out to. At that time, I lived by the beach, and it was Palos Verdes.
No
To
mileage set. It's just
No,
like I just need to get
I
out
will
and do
always be
it. Or
gone for like an hour or two.
okay,
But
yeah.
it was, I will get up from work, grab my, and it's so crazy because I find some pictures and the things that I was wearing and like that. It's like so like, yeah, you have no clue what the hell you're doing though. Just like fucking road shoes on the fucking climb. But I did that though, and I 6 months after like changing my nutrition through, because it was through Herbalife. A lot of people think of any kind of supplements, and I will say this: any kind of product can have a negative or a positive.
Mm,
People can say, "Oh, I love this product." People say this horse shit is like really bad product, or any opinion. But the thing that changed things for me was, it wasn't like the product. It was like around the time that people that were selling Herbalife, whatever, they had a boot camp and they had a really positive community. A lot of them are still my friends to this day, 13 years later. But
that's cool.
that's what provided for me. It was like some people outside of my 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 family, but people that were doing something. They were all like either had results already or they were helping others, and it was a very thing that kept me like motivated.
Yeah.
It was that community, right? And I think that's where like the sense of community was born in me. So from there on, like 60 days hiking, and obviously changed meal prep and all of that. Dropped 60 pounds. That's when I got my leanest. Though I was like 170, and I could actually have a six pack. I had a six pack at the time, but it was like a full physical. It was like a full what is it, 180 or
Yeah.
yeah, in the physical aspect. But the mental part, I became like obsessed with like challenges. They invited me to a Spartan race. I did my first Spartan race in Temecula. From there on, though, I was hooked. Though, went on to do probably close to 200 Spartan races. Went on to do a half Ironman. Never done a triathlon in my life. I signed up for a fucking half Ironman.
Which half Ironman did you do?
Arizona 70.3.
Okay. Yeah. You
So
swim in the Tempe Town Lake or
yeah,
whatever.
shit's dirty.
Yeah, that water's nasty. It's like
So it's just like it became an obsession, and this is where Machete Madness was born. I will put content, and you probably get this already. And everybody that is doing something out there, you probably have someone on Instagram that tells you, "Hey, next time let me know," or "Thanks for the invite," or like whatever. People are saying like, "One day I would like to do that." You get all these people all the time, and then I always been very direct. Though I got like my personality has always been like, I talk to people whether it's online or in person. Like I already know him, and then I'll share how I met him. But it was that basically all these people tell me, and then one day though I got obsessed with like listening to Eric Thomas. And then at that time, Eric Thomas, one of his most famous video speeches is like he's out at the beach and he talks about meeting a guru, and then the guru eventually asks him like, "How bad do you want this?"
yeah.
And he's like, "As bad as you want to breathe." Dude, that just shit got like it got. I used to actually have Ryan like send messages to Eric Thomas. He has replied with like voice messages, and I tell him, "Dude, you don't understand. Like I was in some of my darkest moments, and like your motivation, it was part of my journey." So from there on, I just like I put a post on Instagram though at that thing at the time, and I said, I literally wrote that. It's like all you motherfuckers that are always telling me like thanks for the invite, and If you really want to get some shit done, show up on Saturday, this Saturday at 5:30 in the morning at Redondo Beach, and we're gonna get some work done. Uh, it just a lot of things that I do, I just don't. It's not really planned. It's more like just pops on my mind, or
Yeah.
it's like expression. I have no clue who the fuck was gonna show up, dude. And anyone that showed up that day, a lot of them still following me. We had about 50 people that showed up, dude.
That's pretty cool.
We went on. I had no plan. I just knew I'm gonna do what I normally do. I'm gonna go in the freaking water. We're gonna do burpees. We're gonna carry some sandbags. We're gonna go up the freaking trails. We're gonna do some fucking sugar cookies. We're gonna do a bunch of random shit that I normally do, with really no end time. I didn't know if it was gonna be 3 hours, 4 hours. Dude, we went on for like 7 hours, and from there on, at that time they already called me Machete, and people always ask. They think like, why Machete? Why Machete? Obviously, this is a Machete. This is a very basic tool, which when I go back to Mexico, I'm gonna try to find my grandpa's machete because they all had one, but it had nothing to do with the actual machete. It's actually it's a music thing. So in the reggaeton music, there's a, a group called Wisin y Yandel. They're very famous.
Uh,
I don't know if they're Puerto Rican or Dominican, but anyways, their music label is called Machete Music, Machete Music. So when I was in the office, dude, my background, it's been in the office since I was 18. I would sit in my freaking cubicle and put music, and my assistant, who's actually my son's godfather now, he will always hear the end of the freaking songs where they will mention their record label. They will say Machete Music, Machete Music. So the Machete comes from that. But the madness part, so people would call me Machete, and we were doing this workout that I had people do, and it was the same shit, kind of like right now. And like I said, I don't know if you can see the blood, but I ate shit right now, and that happens quite often. I was being into that stuff, do clips, anything technical, anything like gets you adrenaline when you're running down.
yeah.
And I remember this friend of mine, Steve. At that time, he said he called my name. He's like, Machete, it's just fucking madness, bro. Like this is like madness. And then it was just like that. Then they just started saying, this is Machete Madness. So from there on, like in a month, we did another event. We called it Machete Madness 1. Then we went to San Francisco, Machete Madness 2. So we started doing that. You'll find a bunch of videos on YouTube of that. And from there on, it's been 11 years of the endurance events, 8 years of the trail race. And that's same thing. That the trail running came from just evolving again. 200 plus Spartan races. Then okay, after so long, then what are you gonna do? Let me go do a fucking triathlon when
Yeah.
I don't even know how to swim that well, but let me train for it. And then it just went on to do anything that can,
Challenge you.
and not only challenge you, but honestly, like to this day, like I said, including trail races and any other event, I'm probably near 250 or more events, and I don't have any DNFs. Now, mind you, I'm not podium or none of that, but not only elites are not DNF, and everybody DNFs do, like for various reasons. But I don't know, man. I signed up for things that I always felt like there was a chance that I could not finish it. That fucking that's what got me out of bed to train, though, because I was like, oh shit, like I just legit like how many people who had never done a triathlon goes and signs up for a fucking half Ironman? Like not many. I'm not saying that he's the smartest, but it's just like the way my brain was wired is to do just hard shit that is gonna. And that's why, like, if you think of like now my, fast forward now it's been 8 years of the trail races. Everything just evolved. I just started slapping machete to anything, man. I did Spartan training. I done high rock stuff. Anything it could be machete hybrid. When you build a brand though, so I could make cookies and call them Machete Madness cookies though, and
Oh
then people will
shit! You
fucking
gonna
eat
have
those.
those at the race or what?
No, I'm just saying I could just make some cookies, but I guess a little bit of the history from that. Again, like I could sit here and tell you, like in the past, talking about certain things, I would literally like it was hard for me to even talk about them. Yeah, I would probably like cry though because it's traumas that you have in life,
Yeah, for sure.
and if you're trying to put some content out there and make it like emotional, whatever, like, but that's not even the point, man. It's been so long for me that it's like we were just talking about when you look at yourself in the beginning, and we'll jump into that. You look at yourself where you were at one point, you look at yourself now, or the way you feel, and it's like weird as hell. It feels like you're talking about two different people. So the reason like I haven't done like a podcast or anything for myself and go really deep into again all the just negative things and trying to kill yourself, all those things, because at this point it's almost like talking about another person, man. Like it's just weird. But
I get it. Yeah.
but fast forward now, for me, like some of the highlights of my life, as it relates to my events and stuff, is like it's like at this last race at the Dia de los Muertos on the 100 miler. I ran with this guy Michael. He's from New York. He's trying to do something like a hundred milers, something like that. He's doing a lot of 100 milers, 100 of them. And he was our last runner. And by that point, he was gonna go a little over the cutoff time, but I said, dude, not gonna cut you off, dude. You're like our race is hard as fuck. You
Yeah.
came from New York and you're here. There might be even a chance that like I know you don't have a pace or no one, but I might jump in like. And I had just finished eating dinner, and I freaking ran out there and like, well, I didn't run over there. My Chris dropped me off at I think it was like mile 11, 12, and then from there on, man, we were running to the end. And so for me, it's like just like moments like that, like just running with this guy from New York. He's telling me his his why or why he does these things, dude. That's like the highlights. That's really what drives me. And then if I tell you a bunch of little stories from like different races, different things, that's where like right now you mentioned something about like coming over. We never met in person, and then he says like treating me like family. Honestly, that's I don't know like what the goal is with some people or why they create a race or why they create a brand. But for me, it's always been that. It's just like to give someone like what I was given. I was given an opportunity to be part of a family, a fitness family.
Yeah.
With it's not exaggerating when it saved my fucking life. And for whatever anybody has ever gotten out of my races or any event, like I get messages and people say things like that. Like it's pretty humbling, and you don't want to screenshot and put all this stuff. But I over the years though, I got countless messages of people who showed up to one of our events. They were in the same place I was, and they found the family that not because they don't have a family, but they found a group of people that probably have gone through similar stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all it is. It's like paying it forward. It's like whatever I was given the opportunity of life through fitness, that's what my events represent. So it's not just a brand and it's a thing. It's like I know for a fact that there's people that they tell you that it changed their lives. And again, it's not for me to say that, but it's a fact, you know. And that's what like for me now ultra running has become. But I meet I met him, and I want to just jump into that. I want to just give you guys a little background of like what the brand is. A lot of people same thing. They could see you like you always done this. No, dude, I never ran my fucking life. I never did anything. So I never thought I would be done 100 milers or anything like that. I never thought that I can roll out of bed. I'm not saying do this, but roll out of bed and go do a fucking 50 mile. And legit, that's what I done. But I promised to myself, and I told my girlfriend, and even talking, it's like, dude, I'm not trying to do races where I'm not trained for it yet. We're actually going to be doing the same race next month,
Yeah.
cold water,
Cold water rumble.
cold water rumble in Arizona. But the only difference is that this guy's shooting for the for the course record of 9 hours. It's gonna take my ass probably double in that shit, but I'm gonna finish it. But after that, I'm training for my 100 miler. So what I want to do now, I want to tell them how I met you. So after
Just
my
just quick thing
go
though,
ahead.
like thanks for sharing,
Hmm.
all the background. And yeah, I know it's hard to share things from the past and all that, but it's like I never knew, Machete. I think it comes from this. I never knew it came
Yeah,
from like a music aspect and the
yeah,
whole
the name.
madness thing. It's super cool. It came, to what it is
I
today.
mean, it
So
is kind of symbolic when you think about it, because now, and it's so crazy that it just hit me the other day, dude. So this is as basic as it gets. Like when you're growing up in Mexico, you always doing. It's not yard work. It's literally freaking fields or whatever. My mom, and hopefully we could find it at that time, with my grandpa on my mom's side. They were issued by the sort of like the army,
mm,
like during the revolution, whatever. They were issued government issue machetes. So there's a machete that was from the freaking Mexican Revolution and stuff that belongs to my grandpa. and I want to get it.
Oh, you gotta
But
find that.
but
Yeah.
it is like a freaking tool. But at the same time, fast forward, I'm not gonna confirm or deny, but I put this thing to use a lot in the trails because it's no secret that any trails do, ain't nobody fixing those down. Ain't nobody cleaning trails. Ain't nobody doing any of that. Especially anything state owned, they're not gonna have you doing it. But just know that like tears and blood, what do they say, sweat,
Blood, sweat, and
and I
tears.
put into my events, and definitely this thing, as you can tell, is not just luxury. It's being used, like, but yeah. Again, I just want to share a little bit of like background of like where we came from, like our stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, yeah, if you want to get into kind of like how we met and the reason why we're sitting here today,
Yeah.
you can.
And with that said, it's like one of the things that happened in with going from a depression to creating a community. It's not like I set one there, dude, and then I was like, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make an event, I'm gonna make a race. It literally everything has been born out of like, I don't know if it's destiny, out of something, right? But it always circles back to the same thing, dude. I have met countless of like amazing people that even when I look at a picture over there and it's from a San Francisco event and you see it's like freaking 40 50 people holding freaking sandbags in the water like this. I can tell you there's particular people in there that they have some crazy like life stories that I got to learn because of this. And it's always like for some reason like through our events it circles back and I keep meeting pretty awesome individuals, and that's what is exciting about that. I keep meeting more, and the way I met Tim is like it's so weird that after my 200 miler, Jorge kind of stuck around for a few days. Like people are laughing. He's like, "Dude, he hasn't gone home," because so he's stationed in Camp Pendleton and he doesn't drive right now. So basically, he stayed, and actually after running like 160 miles, and like he didn't even have like a setup or nothing sleeping. Oh, actually, the last day we both stayed in my trailer, dude. Like we packed up our shit and we stayed in my trailer. But he stayed here for a couple of days, and then I think I posted a video of us eating outside. And then I started following Tim after one of your Arvaipas race. What was that?
I think it was a Mogollon Monster
Yeah, they
100.
posted a clip of him finishing it, and I remember like even the caption. I remember saying that like, you had done the race a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and you basically shed like 14 hours of your time, some crazy shit, and I started following you, and that was it. As much as it was. Now, mind you, a lot of people with their social media. Oh, should I follow this person? Do you know this person? Dude, my shit is public, dude. If you look like you run, it looks like you're not a fucking creep, and you just look like an actual person.
Yeah.
I follow you. I always keep hitting my max of 7,500 because Instagram doesn't let you follow more than 7,500. So sometimes there's people that I want to follow, people that did my race or whatever, and then I have to go somewhere and try to find inactive accounts to try to delete, and you got to do one at a time. But the point is that I follow a lot of people, so I don't necessarily keep tabs of who is who, what they're doing or whatnot. But so I knew who he like I seen him because I follow him, but then like I posted a thing of George, and then he replied to the story. And he said something like, maybe maybe you should have ran faster. And then I don't get mad though, but I replied to him right away, and I said, why don't you come show him? Like gotta do it faster than the 200 miler. But again, after like we started talking from there on. Long story short, he's doing our 200 miler, so that's kind of how we met. And then he has a podcast, and we're gonna link up on this video. We just decided to go live on mine, but we'll link it up. Definitely check it out, and obviously follow him on Instagram. So then now we talk a little more about like him and how he started. And again, I'll just want to mention that like for me now, I don't know, man. Like, if there's anything that I can do to like help, empower, whatever you want to say, to bring light to other people that are doing something cool in the running space, then that's what I want to do. So, with that said, like, currently you are teaching, you're coaching cross country, right?
Yeah. So this is just got done with my second season coaching high school cross country. We just got done like 2 weeks ago. Took one of my junior girls to nationals, which was pretty cool. Um, and yeah, I mean, I kind of used the coaching season just as I call it like an off season
Mm-hmm.
for my running. and I just really try and, because kind of like how you were talking, like that community,
Right.
they taught you a lot of things and you kind of just wanted to give back. It's kind of like similar to why I started coaching is, I had a lot of people in the running community that helped me get to where I'm at now. And I kind of figured, I'm like, you know what, like the younger generation high schoolers, they're going to be the next, ultra runners, whatever, marathoners, some go to the Olympics, whatever. So it's like I want to teach them the lessons that I've learned in, my endurance, all the years that I've done endurance sports, and just kind of like give back to the next generation, and hopefully they don't make the same mistakes that I made.
So did you run in high school?
So I actually only ran 1 year of cross country in high school, and it wasn't even like I wanted to do it. It's funny because I had a buddy who was a cross country runner. I grew up, I was a swimmer, and we made a bet. I was all, hey, if you come out and swim, I'll go out and do, I'll run. I mean, I've kind of, my parents were both runners, so I kind of grew up, around all that. We'd go to like run clubs once a week when I was really young. But yeah, so long story short, I go out and I do cross country. I hated running, like especially you're going fast,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
first year competitively running, you don't really know how to pace yourself. So I would always go out super hard, like set a mile PR, and then I would just end up dying on the last 2 miles. But I would always go up to my coach and be like, she'd be like, "What the heck happened?" And I'm like, "Well, I PR'd in my mile," and she's like, "Well, yeah, but it's not a mile race. It's a 5K." So yeah, I did 1 year cross country. Um, Absolutely hated it, and then it's funny because sitting here now, it's like I love running.
And before we even, I want to ask him more things about his running. Most people in running, especially trail running, ultra marathons, I will say the pinnacle, or like the people that want to go to, what is it, Western States,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like people, there's like memes, and just recently they're making all kinds of stuff about getting into Western State, getting into Western State. He fucking ran Western State. Was it this year already?
2025,
Yeah. So
and
he already ran Western States.
a lot of people, I'm like, I'm that guy everyone hates. I got in off of one ticket. So, but the thing is that I was telling everyone, it's like I may have got in off one
I'm
ticket,
sure
but best believe I'm gonna make that one ticket worth it. And I think I put my best foot forward, and I
So what
gave
was your
I gave
time at Western
everything
State?
everything I had. 20 hours 55 minutes.
So just so you get an idea, so a lot of people think of like even running. Like I said, I'm not exaggerating when I said like at the race with 100K we're gonna be running, and which is funny too. Like we never met, but we're actually gonna be at the same fucking race, but different goals, man. I'm just trying to fucking finish that shit. So and that's the beauty of like I think our community ultra running, that you can become close friends with a lot of people. You can, meet through ultra running, and you could be in different sides of the spectrum. You're running the same miles. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like somebody's going to run much faster, and again, we're probably looking at like, I don't know, man. I'm not even gonna put a time because I was looking at it like, how the hell did some people took 30 hours? Because I know like at my 100K, I am giving people 30 hours, but ours has like 13,000 feet of gain. Coldwater Rumble doesn't have 13,000.
It's
It
like
has like
5,000.
5,000. And I get it. It's probably, it might be some sandy stuff in the desert, but I saw a lot of people had 30 hours. So I was like, wait, like, no way I'm going to be out there for 30. So I'm thinking, shit, I'm thinking 18 maybe. But he's looking at 9. That's still half of the time, which if you think about it, it's pretty amazing, like when what people can do, like speed wise. But at the same time, I mean, the longer you are out there, the longer you're suffering, bro. Like you're out there for
It's
longer,
true.
So it's like at the end of the day, I think what I do like about our race format with the loop is that you're gonna have if people, how many people that has done my race have gotten overlapped by Ruperto like multiple times. He will literally run over people. So I like it because you have like your podium people they're with the last place multiple times. So the one thing that you find out through that is that you see that the first person it's not cruising. They're fucking probably redlining. They're going hard as hell. But you also see that the last people, they're not necessarily just chatting it up and walking.
They're
They're,
trying
they're probably
fighting just
dying
as
out there.
hard.
Yeah. So it's like, so at the end of the day, at different levels, people are trying uh, different, whatever's their max effort is just max effort. But I want to throw in there because a lot of people, it's like their dream. They've been in ultra running for fucking 30 years and they want to get into Western things and they just don't give a. He already did it. But not only that, but another notable race it caught my eyes. He did Ure, 100 miler. That shit. When I had Jimmy on our pod too, he's also done it. And just so you, again repeating what I said about the race, it's 100 miles. All of them are about 10,000, right? Most
So
of
the
the race.
lowest point I think you're going is like 78
78, but
or
you keep going
82.
over 10, right?
Oh
10,000.
yeah. Yeah, I mean you're the high point I believe Fort Peabody, I think it's like 13,200. It doesn't quite get to 14, but yeah, you're
But but
going
you
to
but you're
10,000.
doing 100 miles in altitude, and not only that, but you're climbing over 40,000, right?
Yeah, and like it's literally
It's just up and down
there's no flat part. I mean besides you coming into
the station.
yeah, at Felon Park, that's it. Other than that, you're literally going
You want
straight
more
up,
water
straight
there?
down.
Oh, you have yours?
I think I got mine right here. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So that's another race is done. I mean, this past year alone, how many 100 miles did you say you do?
I think I did 5 or 6, which it's I'm, it, I love racing a lot. Like we were talking about, I love being around the community just because I think it's a special thing because you like you were talking about, you could be in front pack, but you see someone struggling that's mid pack or back of the pack. Like at the end of the day, we're all there to finish the race. It's
Yeah.
like that's why. I mean, if you ever race with me, you ever need anything from me, like I got you covered. Even if I only got enough to get me through it and I see someone struggling, like I'm willing to if someone's hurting more than me, like I'm gonna give them my supplies just to get them through it.
I, I,
Like
I think that's one of the difference that you do see. Um, I always hate on road running though, cause I always talk shit, but it's all good and fun, man. Like I do the same with CrossFit and different things that like, and I ended up doing them though anyways. I do things that like it's not really serious what I'm saying, but in general, like for me, it's like even right now, like we went out to he said we want to get on a little run, but at the same time, though, I know I'm not running nowhere near this guy, but we just kind of hiked it up. But
yeah,
he's literally just talking, and like I'm talking too. The motherfucker's just it's more effort for me to get to the climb. But then the downhill, we booked it down, and for me, that's what I love. I hate the climbs though, but I love going down. It was pretty dark, and we had our headlamps, but it's still like the areas that we were running. It's pretty fucking technical though. It's not a fire road. And sure enough, it was funny because like we're coming down this, and I love that shit because it just literally gets your heart rate up, and you're just like, and it's one of the challenges at a race. And this part is not even part of the race. This is on the back end of like towards my house.
it's not part of the race yet.
Yeah, he was saying we should add it, but we'll see. But there's like this rock, and I'm going at this point. I'm in front of him, and then I literally told him, "Yeah, go that way," because I see this freaking rock, and it's just like flat, like a slide, and it's almost like I knew, like I was gonna eat shit, but it's like I couldn't just stop at the moment, and it's just when you mix dirt and rock, it doesn't mix. So my legs just went under me, and I just like for a second, yeah, I flew and landed on my fucking ass, and then I hit like my arm here, but it's like not that I'm saying like you fall in road running, but it's like I don't know, man. Like trails for me, it's just everything about it, dude. Like wildlife, everything about it. But what I was gonna say, the difference is that there's a lot of people at road marathons. Of course, they're supporting. There's like a damn carnival. Like I did LA marathon because somebody gifted me a bib. Legit, I had just ran a marathon at the lake for training.
Yeah,
Somebody gave me a bib. Less
of
than
course
eight.
you're gonna jump.
I
Yeah,
just went and did it. But
why not?
yeah, but it's like it's different. It's just a lot of people and like that. But in ultra running, because the distance are so much longer, and you are dealing with like nighttime, and you're doing like I don't even know. Are there nighttime? There's some nighttime marathons, right? Like Vegas, maybe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there
yeah
might be
for
a few.
sure because it's so damn hot
But
out there. You
yeah,
have
but it's
to.
in the city but for the most part, like a lot of the things that you see from a trail running perspective from ultras is different, including that you could have people on that fighting for podium, and if there's like a for whatever reason they're on the same course or somebody else just struggling, they will help them for the
Yeah.
most part, and that's just a different like, for me that's like the difference I think. And somebody that does road run only might say that they find it too, but I don't know. It's hard to explain it, man. Like unless you've been in the like this past the ABC for my girl's first 50 miler, dude. There was like the last 15-mile stretch. It was literally me and her. Obviously, she's my partner, but I found myself in many races, including in Mexico, dude. Like with random people in the middle of no fucking where. Like, and you just, it's a trippy thing because you're just kind of like, sometimes it makes no sense. Like, why the fuck I'm over here in Ohio, fucking 24 degrees in the middle of some woods, and this is a real story for me. What the fuck am I doing here? Like, I find myself in a lot of places that like makes no sense why I'm there at the moment. But then after that, it's just like just memories, man, and that's trail running, I guess.
And two, I think it's like another thing is like you're running, you meet someone out there, and it's like at the end, whether you're running with them for a section or whatever, it's like I think part of it too is because if you're running like stacked up behind each other, it's almost like you're not. Maybe if you are worried about people judging you, you're not like staring at someone talking to you.
Right.
So it's just kind of like you can open up to them about anything and like no one gives a shit. Like it's almost kind of like the thing I can kind of relate it to is like because we'll kind of get into my story in a bit, but I was drinking, partying, doing all that crap, and I got sober through AA and like
Oh, you went through that?
I
Oh
did
shit.
AA, I did the steps, but
So at this moment, you're like you don't drink at all?
I don't drink at all. I'm coming up on January 5th is going to be 4 years
Oh
of
shit.
being
Well, that's crazy because you're
completely,
young as hell, dude.
yeah. But
But how did you with the drinking part? So like, what led to be like completely like, and I can even say I get it because luckily enough, you met my dad, my mom. I never seen my dad drunk though. But they drink like well, no, my
yeah,
mom doesn't. But my dad will have a beer here and there after he fell and hurt himself, like not as much. But that's different from like someone like myself. Like I never seen alcohol be a problem in my family. I really don't have like no one that is like their life got screwed up over that or they became like so. But I do know people in my life that had the opposite of that. So when people do stop drinking completely, yeah, then I get it. But it's like I can't really even understand it because like for me, if I pull over right now and open a fucking Modelo, dude, it doesn't mean anything. Like I could drink it and I could go another 3 months without drinking, and I do that all the time. But it doesn't mean anything. But I get it. So from your point of view, what led for you to like be at that point where like you even gonna go to AA?
yeah. So I mean, starting off, I mean, I guess I would kind of consider it fairly young, probably 13, 14.
Oh shit,
Had my first beer, and I was kind of just like, I hated the taste, but I'm just kind of like, oh, this kind of it makes
the
me
buzz.
feel pretty good, and it's like, okay, yeah, I had my beer. I would go to school and tell my buddies, yo, I just like stole one of my dad's beers and all that. It made me feel pretty good. Like, really, what does it make you feel like all this? And I'm just like, yeah, it just like makes you feel good. You get like warm, start talking a lot. I used to like playing video games, playing with my friends. Have a
Okay.
couple beers and stuff. Yeah, I just kind of like started off like that, slow, and then finally I started getting into like drinking the hard liquor,
Mm-hmm.
vodka, all that kind of stuff, and I mean, I started hanging around, the wrong crowd. Started getting into, going to parties. Started drinking and driving probably when I was, right when I got my license, maybe like 16, 16 and a half. I was driving to school, like still drunk from the night before. And yeah, I went to college and it just got worse.
Oh yeah.
Was partying a bunch. I was still passing my classes, but not to like the level that I could have been if I wasn't doing all that crap. Yeah, so I want to say it was my third year of college.
Mm-hmm.
Um, was home from college on Christmas break. I want to, or no, it might have been Thanksgiving, or somewhere around there. But ended up going out fishing down at the bay. Told myself I was like, yeah, I'm gonna catch a fish. Go stop at the liquor store. At the time, like I wasn't even. I think I was just turned 20, so I had a fake ID. That thing got me in a ton of trouble. It's bad. Anyways, so I'm driving home, stop, get some beers, whatever, drinking. And if anyone's been around Ramona, going up Wildcat Canyon is it's a sketchy road. And I'm driving up there. Um, I stop near my house, and I'm just kind of like listening to music. And I wanted to go get some food, and decided to drive into town. Ended up blowing a red light, hitting a car that was
Oh
turning
shit.
left. So I got my first DUI there.
Mm.
Um, that was during like COVID time.
COVID.
So when technically they were saying don't go out and hang out with people. So at that time, I kind of really didn't give a shit about it. It was just kind of like I want to get through the 3 month program, do your AA classes, and just get back to doing my business. So didn't really think much of it. I paid the fines,
Mm.
um, was still drinking, got my license back, only had it for about a week, got the second DUI.
Oh, dude.
And after that one, that was more, the consequences got more heavy. Uh, had a conversation with my dad, and he was just kind of like, "Hey, man, like you can keep going down this pathway, but if you keep going down this pathway, like I'm not helping you out anymore. This is your last chance." And I had to do 4 days in jail, and that was kind of like I'm like I don't want to be in here. Like I don't belong
Uh,
in here. I don't want to do this crap. And from getting the first DUI, being forced to go to the AA meetings, it kind of gave me the tools to help myself get sober. So yeah, I was out in Phoenix. I found a local AA group out there. I got a sponsor. I worked my 12 steps, and I would ultimately say I currently now don't use AA, but it was more, it helped me, if you will, like realign my relationship with God. And I mean, I would say that, and you know, running is kind of just helps me, stay sober. And I don't get the urge to, drink or do any of that anymore. I can be around it. It doesn't bother me just because I can look back at the person that I used to
yeah,
be
I got you in some shit, man.
and just be like, I know where that's going to take me if I pick up that drink. And it's, you know, I, it's never going to be, the battle's not over until I'm 6 feet under the grave. It's always going to
Yeah.
be,
Boy.
it's not like a battle of, oh, I got to make sure I don't do this so I don't drink. It's just kind of like, you kind of got to like just always remember that person who you used to be when you used to do all that stuff, just so you don't get lost and just start. I don't know if that makes sense,
I
but
know what you mean. And then a lot of things. I don't know if that's the way it kind of tends to happen. That no matter how old you are or what age, you got to go through some shit to. Because I'm sure your parents at one point in time have told you what to do right ways and not to do. And we all know that. Everybody, I think, though, I really believe by the time you're 11, 12, though, like, you know what's wrong, you know what's right.
yeah,
And it's like, it's just that sometimes we don't measure the consequences at certain ages, right? But I do think that what you said as far as like the battle is never over until like you're 6 feet under until we're not here anymore. And that's probably true because like you can look back at like, you know, got 20 years on you now, which is like I said, is interesting because like I had Jorge, I hung out with him quite a bit like after my race, and that was pretty crazy because I never in my thoughts I would think that I'd be hanging out with people where I'm 20 years older, which is again it goes pretty fast. You go from being like sitting on that side of the table to sitting on this side of the table. It fucking happens overnight, and you're already coaching people, so that transition will probably be sooner. You get me?
yeah,
Where like you already have people that are younger than you that will see you as someone of a role model or whatever. So you like the things that you do definitely carry more. It's not just you. And then there's the other thing too that um before that trail races and when it was just mainly the endurance events, if you never seen any of our Machete Madness events, the ones we do at the beach, it looks like Hell Week or like some type of boot camp. I will always give him this little speech or tell him that like if you're wearing anything that says Machete Madness, I will always tell him like you're not just representing yourself, like you're representing us. If you're at a race, at a sparring race or whatever, and you're climbing a wall or an obstacle, and you literally cut someone or just act like a complete idiot, and you're wearing that, they're gonna remember. Oh yeah, I seen the brand before. It was this dickhead that did this, this, and that. Opposite of that is like you are one of those walls at that sparring race, and you same. You're wearing your hat. You're wearing whatever. You're representing our team. You did one of our events, whatever, and you help someone. It was the opposite of that. They're gonna be like, "Oh shit, yeah, I seen somebody wearing your," and I literally, I'm not even joking. I get messages like that. Hey man, I saw someone at this race, super cool people, blah blah. And I told them like, if you're not gonna, and that's kind of heavy because like at that point, if I'm saying that, and at the same time I have to hold myself to a different standard, right? When I say these things, because I will say like, if you're gonna wear our shit, like if you're gonna act like an idiot, don't even wear our stuff. I would
Yeah.
literally talk to people like that, bro. And it's been a little transition to trail racing because when you it's just like a little bit of different community in a way, and my trail races are like a mixture of both, like the hardcore, like sometimes the trail races, the weather and this, and they're making a big deal. Dude, at Spartans they throw you in the freaking mud, and then you gotta climb and carry some heavy shit. You're already doing like really the worst, like the
Worst
worst
the
things
worst,
besides
yeah.
running. So when you go into that, your mental is in a different area. You're not really worrying about little fucking things, but with that said, man, we're all humans, and I wouldn't say like not even close to perfect or nothing. Like everybody, I think at one point you like to think you're a good person, but in reality, it don't matter what we think we are. Like it just matters what other. I wouldn't say matters what they think, but that opinion is probably more suited for like those that see it from the other side.
Yeah.
But so I'm sure there's like, and again, we talked about like other race directors and things like that. Also, the more people know you, the bigger you get. You're not everybody's gonna like you. Though some people are not gonna like the way you talk or the way you fucking look or the way you go about business. And but that's in life. But I think you're already in a position as a coach that you're already mentoring people. So I think that's when I talked about like new generation of runners, like if you think of ultra running, I don't know what the history really is. I read Born to Run, the book, but you can't go that far back, like or where it's at today, where you got this 200 milers going on, you had this 100 miles. That's pretty new now. It's just like recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like people were doing, yes, 50Ks and 50 milers. I think AC 100. How long has AC one been going on for? Maybe 20 years or something.
Maybe,
But
yeah.
but, but we're not talking about 100 years or 50. It's fairly new.
For sure.
But the cool thing about it is like I think the newer generation, like you, George, and people in their 20s, like it's just gonna be different. Like where it can become a little more of a sport. Like we were just talking about it, not necessarily like mainstream like baseball, whatever. But then again, for adults, if you look at who's running ultras, it's a little more my age now. And this is a fucked up thing about it, like how life goes. Because when I first started looking at ultras, I was 33, 34, and I was looking at, yeah, all this bunch of old dudes doing, and it's like, fucking my
And now
40s,
it's like,
I grew fucking gray hair, now I have a beard, and I'm older, and I was like, dude, now I'm those dudes. So it's like, okay, well, that happens, but it's like, I enjoy every single damn minute of it. But now I think, yeah, I think everything has a purpose, man. Like I feel like, I am meeting a few of you guys that are like faster, younger, and you're already more into like the freaking science of it. Like I already know, like you're looking at things. They're looking at more like the way you schedule your like your training blocks and everything. It's way more technical, more scientific. Even when George is looking at like how much freaking like milligrams you put. Dude, like I literally just grab my shit and I run, dude. Like I forget my stuff sometimes and I just go and run. But I think that's as a sport, it will evolve and it will become more of like a legit sport where I don't know if that will ever be introduced into like high school or college, like longer distance. It's just because it takes so long and it's
yeah.
it's rough on the body, and I don't know if you agree, but even though there is like some teenagers or 17-year-olds, I think I saw in Cocodona there was like an 18-year-old
Yeah, I
that's
think
done
it
it
was
like twice.
I can't remember Brody. I
Yeah,
think he
yeah.
got
His dad was in there.
second at Bigfoot or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
There's a few dudes
I
like
think the
they,
guy's only like 18.
yeah,
Yeah, and he did it when he was
they're
17.
doing long races, but who knows, man? Like who knows? But it might be a little early, because if you think about it, your body hasn't even
Still
matured.
developing. It's like,
But at the end of the day, it's like you can have your own opinions, but it's like, why is that kid running at that age? Maybe he was already finding himself in a dark spot mentally, and maybe physically, whatever. It might in the long run, maybe it's not that great, but if mentally is helping him, then who the fuck are we to say anything like? And that's
yeah,
the
like we don't know his story,
yeah,
so
you don't know why they're doing that. If he's not doing that, maybe like that person is doing something else, or maybe some people just bred differently. Man, there's some motherfuckers like can do all kinds of stuff, and they seem to. I don't know, man. Nothing is like a rule. Um, Growing up in Mexico, dude, there's a lot of people in our little town. To this day, we're just talking about this particular couple that I remember something about them, and I could have swear they passed a long time ago. My dad told me they bought alive right now. I'm like, what the fuck? They're almost 100. So there's a lot of people that like
it's crazy.
they're literally like never done a fucking gym class in their lives. They just live a simple, rural life, and some of them drink and smoke, and they're 100, bro. So it's like there's nothing like a rule, right? You could do all the right things, and who the hell knows what's gonna happen. So there's nothing like really, but obviously like you don't want to necessarily take your chances all the time. But there's no rule for anything, honestly.
I
Like
guess at the end of the day, it's like if you're happy doing what you're doing,
yeah,
like
who gives
just
a
live your
fuck?
life. And for me, like when I started getting into the endurance stuff, it was literally to keep me distracted from going and drinking and partying. But then it just doing it so often, I fell in love with the lifestyle, and now it's just kind of like I just love it. I love, some people call it like the grind. I love doing that, man. It's like
Yeah.
getting after it, doing a 8-hour shift and going out and hitting you know 10 miles out on the trails. Like that's just, it's part of my life now, and I love it.
Yeah, you definitely
So
won't have time to be bored or bullshitting. Not only that, but at the same time, I think in July we went to Mexico, and it was a time where like they celebrate like the Virgin, the local. It's like a like a cultural thing, but it's a party, so it's parties for like a whole freaking week. So there was some level of drinking almost every day. All of us. But after that came back, I didn't. I just, which my and my girlfriend didn't drink for like 3 months straight. And right now, I don't even remember like when I had that last drink. It might have been not long ago, but it's not even a thing like that. It's like I'm looking forward to.
yeah,
If we go run to the trails, and some of my friends that look like to have a beer, we'll have one. But honestly, the more you're in this, like the vast majority are not really drinking that much. I know there's some people that do like it, but same thing. I don't care. Like, dude, if I open my freaking fridge, we have leftovers. There's quite a bit of beer in there, but there's leftovers
hey,
that.
can you give me one of the I'm just kidding.
Wait. No, I got some shots with it. You want to get it?
Yeah,
Okay, got it. Zero sugar. um, but the point is that it's like, yeah, if you're training like so after the 50 mile after ABC, bro, like I know my girlfriend, dude. I admire her. She's like hell. I mean, she's a personal trainer. She's with her nutrition, everything. She's hella disciplined, dude. And I can wing it, dude. I can do shit like whatever.
yeah, eat
Like I
whatever.
literally could go party and then go run 50 miler. But yeah, and we're not any younger anymore, man. But like after a 50 miler, I think for me it was the adrenaline of like, I know it meant a lot for her first 50 miler, and we were gonna finish that shit no matter what. And but once it was over and the adrenaline from that, that kind of like the chase of fucking getting those cut lines. When we got to the Airbnb, dude, and we ate,
You felt the
bro, like I started limping like a motherfucker. That night, like my hips, dude, like my knees, everything hurt like shit because I didn't train for it. Like, and at times, a lot of people, including myself, it's almost like a thing of like, I don't know, like, I didn't even train, I did this. But
like
honestly,
an
like,
ego kind of.
yeah, it is ego. And I just told myself, like, even though I did sign up for this 100K, it's like a really quick turnaround. It's 5 weeks from a 50 miler that you didn't train for. But I'm gonna have more training in those fucking 4 weeks than I did. Like, I mean, I'm doing like again mobility. I'm doing other things that my girlfriend programmed for me, eating a little better, overall, just doing the right things. But when you're doing all of that, yeah, there's not a lot of room for what like you even want to drink, bro. Cause you know like how much sacrifice you're doing. Like last night I was at the gym until like fucking 12:30, dude. My day got really long, and then you're doing all purposely. You can't train by mistake for ultras.
Yeah.
Like if you're actually training, you gotta. I have my bike right there. I fucking did a 20-mile bike ride, and then I went to the gym at night. Had to leave a gap in between so I couldn't eat. But when you're doing all of that, you're not gonna have a lot of energy to even like let me pound a six pack. So you're not gonna do that. Like you know what I mean? Like
And it's
yeah,
like for me also too, the way I kind of think of it is, someone, which I get it, everyone celebrates their own way when they
yeah,
complete their accomplishments, but it's like the way I see it is, say if we get done with a big race and my competitor is going out to the bar with their friends and they're drinking, like that's an extra day that I'm gonna have on top,
to
like over
recover.
you.
Yeah.
Like that's a setback for them, and it's those extra days that you're getting. You stack up.
Well, yeah, and then we're talking about two different things because you are and the competitive like more than likely. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure too. I don't even know that people looked at to see who signed up for races. I just discovered that like a couple months ago. I didn't even know that on my ultra sign up, and I allow it. I wasn't hiding it on purpose, but now my entrance are visible. But I don't even know. But people do check, so I don't know if you've seen who's running 100K or what that competition looks like. But you're in a different space now because you're again you did Western States. You're out there for 20 whatever hours. Like you're in the competitive side, though. Like I could probably finish a race though, and probably have a couple beers. It's not gonna make no damn difference for what I'm doing.
Yeah,
But when you're on that competitive side, yeah, those one extra day of recovery, one extra day of training, that makes a big difference because that's gonna probably separate what you and the other person is doing. And when you're
exactly.
fighting for podium, that's just a different thing, man. But overall, I think it's like, yeah, you don't need to drink though. You don't need to do that. But at the same time, I also do believe like to sit here or on social media and be like, yeah, you guys don't drink while you're drinking, while you're drinking, doing all this, I'm grinding, whatever. Yeah, that's what you're doing, but that doesn't mean necessarily there's anything wrong with it. Like, it just depends. Though. It's just people do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah,
But I will say for that, most people that are like, I wouldn't know if we call ourselves weekend warriors, whatever. But us that are doing it for our own personal reasons and we're not competing, yeah, I'll say those. It's probably not a big difference, whatever you do, like one day. But if you're competing and you're trying to level up, yeah, there's sacrifice that you have to do differently. Like that, for sure. I agree with that shit, man. Like,
but yeah, like I get it too. The whole you're gonna be so distracted with all the training that you're doing. You're not even gonna
yeah, you
want to
don't.
drink. There's like
No, because even, again, if I'm doing a race, but I'm not like really training all the time, and it's 50, I feel like I did want to get to the point where I could always do 50 milers no matter what I was doing. But again, I don't want to suffer for that fucking long. But, but I feel like yes, it's like after ABC, I came back and I think it was that Monday I already started. I'm like, well, I can't freaking run, but I'm gonna get on my bike. So I went on my bike. The next day is like, okay, now I could do a couple miles. I did like 3 miles. The next day is like, okay, I'm gonna do the bike again. I'm gonna do some strength training. But since I've been doing almost like something every day, yeah, then you're really way more subconscious of like what you eat. Even right now, I ate a freaking piece of bread because we brought it from like we made tacos and all of that. I had a little piece of bread, but it's like okay, fuck it, okay, that's it. We don't usually have that at the house, but if I had that, do I'd be 250 right now again. But the point is, it's true. If I guess if one takeaway for anyone watching is that the good thing about training consistently is that if you're doing that consistently, your nutrition and the things that you shouldn't be eating or drinking all the time, you're not really gonna do it because you're more conscious of it.
yeah,
You're like, no, fuck that. Dude. I just ran for fucking 4 hours this Saturday. Like, I'm not gonna throw it away. And the more like, especially on the competitive and the faster you get, the stronger, fitter you feel. Like, you become, I think, more sensitive to foods, to certain things that are
hmm
bad. Like, like for sure, like my girlfriend, dude, she eats certain things now. Like her stuff is very clean. That, but when you don't eat like that, it messes you up, dude. it messes you up.
For sure. And I just another like takeaway kind of that I've gotten from doing, endurance sports and stuff, it's like no matter where you're at on your journey, it's like don't go and compare yourself to someone who's been doing it for
Oh,
years because it's like at the end of the day, I mean, just just do your thing, do what makes you happy, and say if you want to be like someone that's been running for 10 years and they've done all these races, like if you just stay consistent with what you're
mm,
doing, your training, like you'll get there eventually. Don't go start beating yourself up if you're not able to do certain times in your races or certain distances and you've only been doing it for a few months or whatever. Like just stay consistent and like keep don't compare yourself to others. And
yeah, that's a good advice. And I don't like I said, I never met him in person. We talked on the phone a couple times and Instagram. But one thing is like, and I don't know because I don't know like how you react, but I do see that a lot. One thing is to be competitive. You have a great race and you're on top of the world and you're posting all kinds of stuff and you're doing this, and then some people they don't do well, and they don't even put a story. They don't put nothing, bro. Like, did you even run? Like they go dark,
yeah,
and it's like I feel like the same time like like they say don't get too high or too low. Like even when you should be super high, stay lower. You're supposed to be low, stay in the middle because I think at the end of the day, if you put in the work, right, and things do happen. I mean, when you run a trail run, like I say, even right now, running down though, like I run these trails all the time, and I do fall before, like, but for the most part, like I talk shit, bro. I'd be like, dude, I run those motherfuckers with sandals, but no, I still fall. Like, dude, I fucked up my elbow pretty bad, my ass. But the thing about it is like in the trails, especially, things happen, man. Like anything happen, but if you really, if you put in the work, you consistently, you took care of your body and you go out there and for whatever reason our bodies too some days it's just not your day, but if you did all of that you should always hold your freaking head high and be the same person, obviously you're
for
not going to
sure.
be as pumped up when you won a race or you podium or you did well as a race that you what not even DNF is not even the worst, is that you could finish even like when was it a UTMB this past year, like Courtney, like they were even saying like they were posting things about of course females, right? And they were like, man, get out the way, Courtney's coming, blah blah blah. But at the
Oh,
end
I
of
think at a
yeah,
Cocodona
no, well,
or
no, she DNF there. I was there. Like she DNF there, but UTMB, it was more like I said, a lot of the stuff on social media was almost for like, man, get out the way. Here comes Courtney, right?
yeah.
And she's super humble. She's awesome, dude. But people sometimes they put so much on you. But like that's one lady that I see all the time that no matter what, like she's smiling the same way. But same thing, dude. She went out there and she started dropping from like I suspected she was first. Then they started passing her. They started passing her and she dropped to like I think like top 10 maybe 8 or 9. But she still had like a great attitude. But also in the sport, I feel like it's hard to stay on the top for too long, though. Like you already seen it, like with
Well,
Max,
and like at the end of the day, there's always someone out there getting after it more
some
than you
freaks out
are.
there, dude.
If
Like
you think like, and I mean that kind of the whole thing that you were talking about is, there was a moment. I think I came off of. I had just done the across the years 200 miler. I won that, set the course record. Went out to SD50. I won that, and I was kind of like, I think I did a 50K too before the 200 miler, so I was kind of on like a winning streak, and I started to, kind of get, I guess you would say, like prideful and like I guess kind of arrogant,
hmm
and I went out to Rooster's backyard the first time I went out there, and I was just kind of like, I'm gonna keep this winning streak going, like I'm gonna win this and all, and then I ended up quitting at 108 miles, and then
what was the winning miles?
112. So with
That's not
backyard, you
even that
you can
much.
only go.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's like, you know, I
But did you
I've done
quit?
a 200
Was
miler,
there
so
other
I knew
people
I
in
could
front
have
of
done
you?
the distance. Yeah, it was just me and the last dude. So I was the assist.
Okay, so you were the last.
So, but I mean, after that race, I've kind of just gone into um, all the other races after that, just kind of with the, I call it like the we'll see
Mm-hmm.
mindset,
Mm-hmm.
because say if I do end up having a bad race, it's kind of, I mean, I'll go in with goals, but at the end of the day, like you were saying, we've talked about this, it's an ultra.
Yeah,
Anything can
anything can
happen.
happen.
It's like you want to go into the race um, as prepared as you can, and like the things that you can control. So like you can control fitness,
Yeah,
what you're eating, things you can't control. You can't control the weather.
fucking weather.
You can't control if um, you get sick.
Yeah,
So it's like control the things that you can control, but if it's like something, say it's, I don't know, some crazy weather storm comes in
yeah.
and you end up falling and breaking your arm or breaking your leg or some crazy, it's like you can't really beat yourself up out after for that
Yeah,
because you can't control the weather.
that's what I'm saying. Always, always like, you know, I think with the whole DNF thing, I had I think it's over here somewhere. Oh, I didn't even take it out nowhere. Some people are kind of sensitive, but it says DNF Wall of Fame, and I put on the bottom is not whether you get knocked down, is whether you get up.
Yeah.
So when I made this thing, I thought it's gonna be pretty cool. This is what I was thinking. You DNF, well, you have to for a couple of things. You give me your bid because that way I know your ass is not out there anymore. Like we put it, but I even told people I will even give you like half of the next race. Come back and get your bid back. But then I posted it, and then a few people, not even no one that actually DNF. Some people just said that it was like kind of like picking on them. I was like, what the fuck, like, dude, you DNF. Like I would think I'd be. I was going to this race like if I didn't finish, uh, you damn well know that I'm gonna come back and finish the motherfucker
Yeah.
eventually. That's just the way I think, but not everybody thinks that way. But I thought it was more like I don't think like the whole DNF thing is like a bad thing. It's like why you DNF. You didn't even put in the work and you didn't train. And I can tell you like for any of our distance, any of them, like even myself, like if I sign up and I go do my own race, like certain distances, like I will say the 50K, I can always do that shit. But my 50 miler, probably could still knock it out with minimal training, but probably not. Starting with the 50 miler, I'll probably DNF with it and not make it within the time because it's just like certain races you can't do that. Like they're more, some races are more forgiving than others, like the terrain and just that pounding of it.
Oh, for sure.
But the thing about it again is like if you didn't do well, whatever, it was not the end of the world. Nobody's really like out there, sitting on their chair like, oh my god, he didn't get third place or he didn't get podium. Who gives a fuck, bro? It's for yourself, whatever you want to do. But also, I did want to add like when you told me about like Jorge running faster, I did thought about like, what the fuck is this little cocky motherfucker? And it's like, why didn't you come show him? But what I was gonna say, I was showing him some videos of High Rocks and Hunter. Hunter is like three-time High Rocks champ. He was sparring champion. At one point, there was a show on TV by Steve, the wrestler, Stone Cold, the wrestler Stone Cold.
I don't.
You know the fucking wrestler?
Uh,
Austin, like he's like, fuck, bald-headed wrestler, Steve
oh
Austin.
wait, is it?
Stone Cold, that's his fucking name. Stone Cold, Steve Austin.
I
That's his
thought it
name.
was
Stone.
Iceman. I
No,
was
no,
thinking
Stone. No,
about
you're
that.
thinking the fucking UFC. But anyways, he had a TV show on TV, and it was like obstacles at range. There was some sort of wrestling shit. But Hunter won that shit like 3 years, and like I don't know, I think they were giving him like 100,000, whatever. But Hunter, like besides being a freaking freak of nature, like I mean, he's full time like athlete, and he has his own like supplements, whatever. But he's like people will see him as like cocky, confident. He talks shit to like right there. If you watch some of the videos, he's like literally telling he's gonna come and like on one of the videos they were saying he was gonna come and smash the certain guys or whatever. He talks like that, but then when he loses, dude, he faces the music too. He's just like no excuses. He's I lost. So what I was gonna say, that I think there's still a level of like call it what you want, cockiness or confidence. But I think if you are competing, you do have to have a little bit of that personality. You can't just have like a little nice guy. Hey guys, we're all gonna do. We're all here. We're all winners. Hell no, motherfucker. Like if I was running that fast,
Yeah.
I'll be like talking shit, dude, but in a good way. Not like I mean, like I said, in a good, kind-hearted, like competitive. Like let's fucking get it. Like hope you make me run faster.
Yeah.
I think that's good for the sport. Like having some sort of competitive, and I think that's where like maybe like ultra run is not so much for a sport right now because we're too nice to each other. And I'm not saying to be nice, but I think like when you think of entertaining in sports, what do they do in boxing and in UFC? Everything they have to create some storyline, some type of rivalry where almost like they hate each other, they get
And
impersonal.
people like get into
Because that's what
that.
people
Yeah.
want to see. They want to see that competitive. So if you're thinking of racing, whether it's high school, sometimes there's rivalries between high school, and that's what brings out like the competitors, not the best of each other. But there's like obviously like a balance between truly like meaning certain things or competing with complete asshole, you know. But
Yeah.
like I said, like my buddy Hunter, like that dude's a beast, dude. But like he plays with the line of like just being a dick and like completely. But if he loses, like I said, he just lost a race by a stupid ass penalty, and I was wondering what he was gonna say when they interview him. He didn't say nothing really about the penalty. And everybody on social media say like some bullshit penalty, but you gotta respect the rules. But that's what I'm saying. Like you can be confident and cocky or whatever and talk some smack, but at the same time, if you lose it, then you don't make no excuses. You're just like, well, he freaking beat me, you know. But I don't think it's bad at all, though. Like, I don't think like to have some sort of like competitiveness as long as it's in some sort of respectful in a way. But I think that's good. Like so, even like I think in April for our 100K is there's a lot of people that I see that is like gonna be very competitive. But like I can't wait for like the 200. So let's talk a little bit about I know you probably damn it's almost 10. He still has to drive home.
Let's talk about yeah
Yeah.
the.
So real quick. So this is in October. What other races do you have for the leading up to our 200 miler?
Let's see. So besides the
Coldwater.
Coldwater Rumble, I'm gonna do that. I got some like 50Ks and 50
Mm-hmm.
milers kind of sprinkled in throughout the summer, just to kind of like long run train.
Mm-hmm.
Test where my fitness is at. Um, so there's actually a race that it's like 85-90% chance gonna happen. It's out in
Oh, that
China.
China one.
It's called Mount Galligong Ultra. It's a 100 miler. Um,
All
hundred.
right.
I think it's a 28,000 feet of
I was
climbing
gonna
over the
say
100.
anything outside of the U.S. The ultras are fucking crazy, dude.
So realistically, I have that race and then Machete Madness. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna go out to Mogollon Monster again. That I just love that race and I want to go after that course record also.
Mm-hmm.
But that might have to wait till the next year just because I want to really focus on that, your race and then that one in China because I think that's enough time for me to recover for the 200 miler just to get a solid training block in and just go out there and you know test the body, see what mentally I'm made of and physically.
I think with the 200s it's like now it's like a new thing, and I was saying that I shared with him that I gave myself 6 months to, and that's why I did want to do the 100K because I just did the 50. I'm gonna do 100K, and I'm really gonna focus on, yeah, I could do some 50Ks or whatever's in between, but I really want to give myself to do my own 100 miler. But I even told them at 46, yes, there's a lot of people older than me doing this kind of stuff, 200s. But I think going back to when I shared with you a little bit how I started, one of the things that fueled me, it was like to find my limit, right? To how far can I go, how long can I go. One of the things that I think did it for me is the Spartan race at that time. They took out the dead race and they put a 60-hour agogi, which it was basically again like Hell Week, 60-hour event in Vermont, like carrying heavy shit, dude, doing anything from burpees to eating fucking worms, repelling from mountains, like anything you can think of to mentally fuck you and physically. And to me, I finished it. I was one of the finishers, and I felt like if they had to keep us out there for another day, 24 hours, I could have done it. So I kind of found like my sleep deprivation lane to miles. Like I kind of that was like the pinnacle for me of like where I can go far, how far. I felt like I reached that already. So it's just kind of like I could possibly like if I wanted to do like my 200, but I know what it will take me to do that shit, like physically and training, and I don't have like that desire anymore, like to do that because again, at 46, I just me personally, and again, we're gonna have people that are in their 50, 60 that are doing like Roberto's fucking crushing 100 milers to this day, but
Probably faster than I
he,
could.
he's also like I think he was on a podcast today. I want to check it out, but see what he said as far as if he's gonna continue to do that, but ours was supposed to like had been like the last time he would do mine, but because it's just because of the climate and the terrain, it's just very taxing, right? But what I was gonna say is that I want to do my 100 miler, so like even right now, if they're already hosting this past year our 200, and I've been around a lot of events, a lot of races. I've been at Cocodona twice, dude. And I'm fucking telling you that like our 200 miler is not exaggerating. Like it's by far, for many reasons, it's harder than any 200 out there. And I had a couple people that are like done all the triple crowns and that did my race, and that's what they told me. I'm not saying it, but because of that, it's just like I really hope like your training goes well and everything. Because like for me, even if like if I have Jorge and it's like I'm being hanging around more with him and the other guys like Ramiro, they're like sort of like on our team or whatever. Like I want everybody equally to succeed. I like every time people drop though, which is quite often. If you go to ultrasound and you look at our DNFs though, it's just like, phew, and finishers like a little bit. So it sucks. I almost take it personal when people don't finish it. Like it sucks because I want them to finish. I don't want people. And honestly, injury wise, it has not really been the reason. I mean, some people can say, "Oh, my back" or whatever, but nah, that's the coach just kicked their ass.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's like I what I want to see and what it was so fucking motivating to. Again, I'm not competing myself anymore, but I respect like what people are doing, what they can do. So for me to see, and not just the finisher, but everyone that I like those 9 people that line up for the 200, and just seeing them out there, and it's a very lonely place when it's not that many of you, right? Um, but to see those 4 people that finish the way they finish, that's what I envision for my race. Well, honestly, like people, that's why I am pumped that you join us because it's like I want people to by you joining us and other people that are like more competitive, it's gonna raise the bar for those that are coming back already, and or even other new people because they know they're gonna have to step up their game. Like whatever, like and that's how people get better.
Yeah.
But I think it's what I try to tell people is like, if you've been doing ultra running, it's because you like to do hard things. You like to challenge yourself, and it's not even like it's like a 4 mile loop and you just climbing this and that's how you get all these climb. No, it's a freaking 20-mile loop is not little, dude. That's like a freaking marathon. That's a big fucking loop. It's a big course. It's not like a little loop. So it's like there's no excuses. Like you have, I mean, it was dark, but there's plenty of flat. There's climbing. Honestly, when I designed the course, though, it's like I put like everything that like it has everything. It has like very like technical downhills. It has plenty of flat running. It has a little everything. And honestly, like the lake is awesome, dude. It's just being there. I believe there used to be. I don't know the exact history. There is a museum, but the natives used to live there. And I'm telling you, like how many times I've been out there by myself, 100%. And other people have shared that with me. There's definitely like energy there, bro. Like there's spirits. I'm fucking playing, but not in a scary way. Where like I know on 2.0 we do have the freaking Llorona and like that shit can trip you the fuck out because it's just staring at you. But
Does that
no.
thing like come alive at night or some crap
So
or?
one of my friend Tony, he did like a freaking AI thing of like a video, and that thing is like moving, dude. Like in a poster, people were
I
like, "What
think
the?"
I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. But no, I mean, it moves with the air. When you're out there and you haven't slept, everything, even the rocks look like animals. But I'm pretty sure that trips people out. But no, overall, just like I think it's a very hard course, but I think also there is something special to it. It's my backyard, but I do I do believe that there's some type of spirits, man. I've been there by myself, and I can't describe. It's not fear, but it's just like, motherfucker, I'm not by myself here. Like I know, I mean, I'm not even talking about the damn animals, because there's animals, obviously, it's coyotes and other things. But it's just awesome, man. I think like people have like shared that they had like certain experiences out there. Um,
Maybe I'll get the same when I'm out
yeah,
there. We'll
dude,
see.
it's like, but I think it's like wherever you are in your space, you might find yourself like you're racing, but there's something else happening. But on a competitive end, I think the way the 20-mile loop is like, I think Hannibal and he thought like that there was nobody behind him for third place, and this guy Jimmy, who again he did Ure, he did all the triple crowns, um, and he's one that like when I had him on, he literally went from work to my race. He was late to my race. Like people had taken off, and he showed up like 20 minutes late, and still caught up to everyone. And like, yeah, I think he's gonna level up his own training and things because he knows what it is now. So he's gonna come in like he's tough, motherfucker. He didn't come with no pacers, so I don't think he didn't have extra shoes or nothing, bro. He literally have like a station. He didn't have nothing. He said in his car he had like a cooler of like, bro, no. He said at the end that our aid station were probably feeding him. Like he didn't bring anything really. Like he didn't have shit. So I think this year he's gonna come in like prepared and serious. Like so I think everybody's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be. But one thing he told me is that he likes surprise or whatnot. But I'm telling him I really highly recommend if you can. There's people that come from other states, but there's some people from Arizona, like this guy Angel. He came like 3 times for the 100 miler before that to run on the course a few times. But you didn't have like I had some guy from Louisiana, and there was like Oregon. There was just two brothers from Texas. And there was two guys from Great Britain. I don't know, fucking
What the
random as
hell?
hell.
That's
But
crazy.
that what sucks about it is that they did show up because I did hear somebody with their accent. But sometimes with the race, so much going on though that I didn't get to chat with them. But I gotta look up their names to see if they're finished. I got a feeling like they didn't have. I got a feeling. I don't even know why they came from so far, but like, but the point is that I think I have a feeling like the 200 is gonna like you guys are part of like something that is gonna become like something, you know, whether they ever it will never be like something like I said, like, you know, Mammoth 200, any of those, like it's just different though. It's just like, first of all, I wouldn't be able to accommodate that many people, and even when like the race started with everybody else that came in, and now you got 150 people out there, there's still sections and areas where like it does get a little crowded, dude.
Yeah.
Very briefly. But I don't like races where like, dude, you're literally waiting in line.
Congo line.
Yeah, like that. I mean, you seen UTMB? How that shit looks ridiculous, though. Like, it doesn't look fun, bro. It looks like many areas you just stop right there. Like, it's crazy, and I don't want that. So it's like I don't think I could even accommodate a race like that. But I will. I think ideally I would love to get like, let's say 50 runners
That'd be
for the
cool.
200. Like get to 50 this year. We're going from 9. I think for sure we'll get to 20. I have a feeling we could get even 30. But once it starts getting in those numbers, and you get like, I feel like it's not also gonna be a 200. Like first of all, that's not a 200 that you can walk. Like for me to go have fun and chill and go finish that 200, me personally, I wouldn't finish within the 96 hours for sure. I would not fucking finish that. So it's not a race that you anyone can just do it. You really have to like, you're gonna have to train like legit for it, and probably be, you know, be a little more on the competitive side. Not really like when people talk of like the middle of the pack. I feel like that's the end of the pack for our race. Like the middle of the pack for our 200 will be people that will be our last places. Honestly, that's what it will
Right.
look like. So then on the competitive end, then, but then again too, like we were talking, like there's not. I mean, there's a lot of people signing up for 200, but like, are there a lot of competitive 200s? I don't think there's a lot on the competitive end, dude. Like, you can pick a
Maybe
handful.
like a handful,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, real, like, when you go from, like, this past year at Cocodona, what was the dude that won?
Dan Green.
Dan Green. Like, he went and did, what was it, 60 or 50 in the 50s?
It was in the 50s. I think it was like fifth. I could be wrong. 58.
Oh, yeah, I think it was 50. Yeah, that's hella fast. How did he do at Western State? Because I know he went to
I
Western
think he
State.
went 17 something.
Yeah, so like him, but even like his time, that's not even top 20, right? Is it top 20?
I think he got like 17th
But not
maybe.
top 10 for sure, right?
No,
No, no, no.
top 10. I mean, I think you gotta be running like low
You
16.
gotta be like elite
Yeah,
on the elite
15s.
level. Yeah, so overall, like when you think of his time, but then like 10 plays down from him, now we're looking at what, like 60 plus hours, right? Like at
Oh
Cocodona.
yeah, Coconut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like from 1 through 10 now that the times really move up a lot.
yeah, it's a big gap.
Yeah, so I think I would say like elite on 200 is probably not a lot. I mean, just in general, what the fuck? Like,
Who
200
wants
is
to go
kind of
run 200
crazy.
miles, right? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, man.
I guess
So,
I'm one of them though. Crazy
yeah.
mofos that's gonna go do it.
Yeah, and then you had, well, we are still hoping that we get our female to finish a 200 miler. So
I think it'll happen this
we
year.
have
I think
Sam,
Sam will.
she looks solid. And I think more female, I believe Andrea's coming back, and she already knows what it is, so she has a whole year to prepare for it. Um, but other than that, so Western States, like, since you ran it last year, what's the process to try to get in again?
So I mean, you can go through the lottery again,
But you don't have you
but
have to earn like fuck. You have to earn those tickets again or pass.
so yeah, you have to just run another qualifying race.
But being
I
a
think
participant doesn't give you crap for the next one.
no, it does.
Oh yeah.
So since I ran it in 2025, I got one ticket again for
Oh, one.
the
Nice.
next year. Yeah, it
But with one,
resets.
the odds are pretty low, right?
Yeah.
Did you even
So
enter?
I entered it
But
just to
you no,
like
you didn't
keep
get picked.
my ticket count. But I think honestly, 2026, I don't really care if I run a qualifying race because I think my plan is 2027. I would like to pursue a golden ticket.
Mm.
Just see what I really am made of. You know, put myself up against the best of the best and see where I stack up in the
But besides
fields.
Western State, what other race would you say has the highest competition? Is it the canyons? Like that
Um,
brings out like the top. I mean, I don't know if there's other race that really
I
brings.
mean Black Canyon 100K.
Yeah.
Trying to think of some other ones. There's some. Yeah, can't all realistically all the ones that people are going for a golden ticket for. Javelina I know is really competitive, but it's
But like
like
Javelina is like that's just flat
I
as
mean,
hell, right?
dude,
That's a flat course, right?
yeah,
Because I saw the
people are
times.
running like 12. What was it, 12:10 or
Yeah,
something
I
this
saw
year?
the guy
Something
at 12 hours. I was
ridiculous.
like, what the fuck?
It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I think all the other the big races. I think the UTMB ones. At the I mean, all those distances are going to be super competitive, but all the big ones that draw a lot of attention are going to have super high competition. I know Kodiak,
Mm-hmm.
they have their races are
Who won Korea?
super competitive. Hayden Hawks won the 100 miler. Kellen Bloomberg out of San Diego
Mm-hmm.
won the 100K. The 50K, I want to say was some dude from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Fast dude, and it was like a 209 marathoner, which is just
Yeah, you look at some
ridiculous.
of those times and it's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, man, it's insane. So, and I
But
think something too that's, I mean, it makes sense. You got guys that are running, which is still insane, 215, 214 marathons, but, it, you can run a Olympic qualifying time with that, go run Olympic trials, but it's like, realistically, you're not going to get in the Olympics with that time,
no.
and you're not going to be winning any major races with a 215. So it's like, but if you take a guy that can run a 215 and put him in a 50K,
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna destroy it. So I think that's kind of like something that we've kind of been seeing over the past few years is those marathon guys that are can't really compete, but they're running sub 220 are coming over and they're just like
Yeah.
destroying on the trails, which
But I
is
think what we're saying too, there's no on the financial part. Like you have the people, the canyons that are running those marathons in the two flat or whatever, like 205s, whatever. But that's because there's money there. You're not gonna see a canyon no damn ultra marathon because there's not the money there. Like
yeah. I
there's no
mean,
money
I
there,
think like the
and they're not gonna go.
realistically you've got to have like we were talking about, multiple sources, whether that's you're like
Yeah,
an influencer, you're doing your
social
YouTube
media,
channel exactly. So,
coaching, and other stuff.
yeah, you got to
Some
have
type of
multiple
brand.
sources coming in. It's not like you're going to get, you know, like we were saying, there's maybe a handful of people that are
They're
just
full-time
strictly
athletes.
running.
But
That's
even
all they're
but
doing.
even that, like like I said, in the competitive, like how long can you? You can't even dominate. Like it's like to think of like who like
Your span of
yeah,
being that
it's
elite
very short.
is,
Even that's crazy about it is like I think on the AC 100, like Ruperto, I think he has like I don't know like 12 podiums, like three wins at AC 100, like he's in his 60s. But other than that, like people don't really win for that long. And this year he was like not even that far from Max. And the thing is like with Max, I mean I don't know him personally, but I saw him at AC 100, and but like he won Moab
yeah.
240, and they call him King of Moab, whatever. But then from there on, like I know again, he DNF at Cocodona,
Mm-hmm.
and then he DNF somewhere else that I saw. Where did he DNF? But anyways, oh, and after that he came like at
50K out there.
yeah, no, but there was like the 200 that he just like ran.
Oh,
He ran
Mammoth
that
200.
Mammoth, and then this guy is
What do you get like third,
Yeah, so
but
this Mexican dude that beat him in Cocodona
oh,
and then beat him here. I talked to him a
gosh
few
dang it,
times.
what's Edgar?
Edgar,
That guy's a
Edgar.
beast.
I talked to him. I actually told him, hey man, you gotta come
I
over
saw
here,
him out
man.
at Mogollon.
You gotta get some
Get him to come
Latinos
out.
over here. I was telling him, but
Tell him to come do the
but
200.
like a lot of them, they're trying to do all those like bigger ones. But it's like, dude, like I feel like there's some people that like they're doing really good, but they just don't have like their social media because they're not posted, whatever. They just don't have it.
Yeah,
Like, and that's all it is, really. But the point is, like, we're talking about Max is that you can have like a hot streak, but like to have it for 10 years or something like that in this sport is very hard. Like it's very hard because it's just so fucking taxing on your body, like
exactly.
on the ultra.
Some's gonna. I mean, like even now, I've been going. I mean, I've only been in it for, 3 years, but I'm kind of having some back problems that I was
Right.
talking to you
Yeah.
about, like that sciatic nerve. I think it's
Yeah, sciatic sucks. My girlfriend right now, she's dealing with that. But I'm telling you, it's just mobility, stretching, and the worst thing about it is like sitting sucks. Sitting mess you up.
it just hurt. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
sitting down.
Like running doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like the whole
Put the shoe.
sitting thing.
But yeah, man. So we'll do another catch up with you at another race. Maybe we'll do something after cold water.
Or we could get Jorge back on here and
Oh yeah, we'll get Jorge. Get Jorge over here.
I'll tell him to run faster.
Yeah, you just tell him that when you're running on the 200.
We'll be like, hey man,
Oh,
like, you want to finish? Like, run faster.
he when he came for the like cross preview, dude, him and another dudes they were running like sevens on the flat, super fast. But I did tell him, dude, if you run like this at the 200, you're gonna DNF right away. And he did stay with like Andrea for like the first two loops, but then for sure that was like much slower than what he needed to be run, like like a lot slower. So it's like because he did legit told me he was scared of like fucking animals and stuff like that. So like there's a lot of things that you don't know that like for you it's like whatever you run out there. Nah, there's a lot of people that legit worry about fucking spiders and things. And I did tell him, dude, that fucking spiders are listing of your worries, bro. You're gonna be out there for the fucking
You're
200
not
miles.
even gonna care at that point.
But I think he's gonna be more prepared. Ramiro, I know he's putting the work. I know he bought himself a bike, so that dude's not biking a lot too, like just to add more volume or whatever. So I think everybody's gonna be more competitive, man. But it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, it'd be cool to get have more of these like sit down with different people.
Yeah, man. And then like you were
Yeah,
saying, we could maybe do like uh, a cold water rumble race recap, and
yeah, that'd
let
be cool.
everyone know like where we're at, how the training's going. I know that's only like what 4 or 5 weeks away, but
It's 4 weeks
a lot
now.
of things could still happen within a month. So yeah, I mean with that, I mean that's all I kind of got.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me on your episode. It was cool, checking out your trails, eating with your family, meeting your parents. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Like I said, it just feels like I'm part of the family already. So thanks for having me out here, man.
Yeah, man, for
Appreciate it.
sure. We'll stop this thing, but yeah, I'm gonna put on the, of course, on social media. I tag them on Instagram, but I'll share their podcast that they have, so you guys could check it out too. Yes, you have your guys' podcast on Spotify too, right?
Yeah, it's Spotify, Apple Music, and then we'll throw up like the live recordings on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so we got the links right there. Check it out, support it, and everything, man. Like I said, I think it's important to, now I'm getting a little older. I think one of my goals too is like to highlight and bring out more people, and there's always something we can learn. I can learn a lot from younger people, and then vice versa. There's a lot of things, but the last thing I will say is for not just to him but anyone, it's just like most people don't really even remember what place you took, but they'll remember how you are with people. If
Yeah.
you're a dick, like they're gonna remember that. They're not gonna care that you took first place. If you're not a cool person,
Most people are gonna forget within like a
yeah, they
week.
don't even care, dude. Like, and that's what I saw. Well, that's one thing I learned that it didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter what fucking how long it took me. When after doing 10 years of sparring races, though, any sparring race that I will go to, there would be there'd be a lot of people that know you, and it's kind of weird in the beginning, though, when you're doing that kind of stuff, and a lot of people get to know you. That like someone will ask for a picture, and it's the weirdest shit because I was never in podium. Look, I was doing pretty good, but I was not podium.
Yeah.
But it's like that's one thing that I learned right away, like from like that experience, is that like people really appreciated the way you treated them and the way you try to help others. as opposed to, you know. But at the same token, you know, if you're on the competitive end, you can do both. You could kick ass, be fast, but also at the same time, just have a good character, and that probably comes with age, man. Like it's pretty crazy to think like 25 or even 30. Fast forward me 46, bro. I'm still like I talk to my sons about this all the time. Like in many things I've been talking to them, I bored them to death with like audio books of people, and it's like I feel like you guys already heard or learned so much shit that I never saw into my 30s or 40s. So it's like hopefully, you know, whatever we can do to, you know, pass down things that are helpful for brothers, and that'll be it. But yeah, I'm
For
gonna cut
sure,
this
man.
off. Otherwise, this guy's gonna fall asleep on his way home.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Hell yeah.